Good morning, London traders. It is already the 8th of October and it is almost 2 a.m. Eastern. We had some good movement already. Now, I don't like the way that, it's still barcoding in a way, but look, we've got movement. And I guess that's always good, right? Even though we don't like the movement, but that means at least we're getting out of the range or on the way to do it. We're almost at the start of a new 4-hour candle. Hello, Matter Z. How are you doing? Good morning to you. Did you trade? Did you trade last night as well, or in the PM session? I think we might have an interesting London. At least we're going to get some movement. The 4-hour candle is starting in a bit, so we already have, movement is starting already, so that's a good sign. Yeah, I need some more coffee before I go. Okay, now the sun is starting to shine. It's just been crazy weather here, to be honest. It's just been really, like, I'm sitting here in summertime with a sweater on, right? It's just, but anyway, I'm just letting this run, just let it go. I mean, I only took the trade during London after loss. I skipped for the day. Yeah, it was a good morning, but the afternoon was horrible. It was just consolidation, right? And we're actually still, now we're going back into that range of consolidation. Today's FOMC, so if I may give you a little advice, don't trade AM session. Just have a look. If it's okay, do it, but it's FOMC at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I'm not going to go live until 1:30 in the PM session. I'm just going to skip the whole AM session because FOMC plus it's NFP. And technically speaking, like ICT always says, if you are trading in NFP week, you actually want to be done AM session at 11. But because FOMC now, I would just skip the whole AM session and just look at what happens after the release of the FOMC minutes. Plus, there's also 10-year bond auction. It's a yellow folder news, but I've noticed in my journaling, every time it's that price is like this. It's like very barcoding and stuff like that. So technically, when I see the 10-year bond option, I don't even, well, I do look obviously, but I try not to trade before 1 p.m. And now it's a combination of everything. So I think it's going to be totally nuts. Anyway, but yeah, let's have a look at London because, hey, I'm still building a model, right? I mean, I got some feedback yesterday. I really had a good session, PM session. I had over almost 200 views. It was my first time, and 8 people subscribed during that session. It was a little bit of a longer session, but it was really nice in the sense of that I could see that the algo is pushing the streams a little bit further. Oh, it's 2 a.m. Let's have a look. So it was a very fun session, even though the price action after the AM move wasn't doing very well. But anyway, let's get into. I want to go into the 4-hour chart. It's like my 10-4 model, right? But then it has to do with the start of a new 4-hour candle, which is very important. And then you use the previous candle to see where price is going. So now we are, let me go to my chart. I want to go to the 4-hour here. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour. It's okay if we miss this move. Yeah, I mean, but it's also just so much fun, meeting people. And hey, Method, have you seen the suspension block here? I just want to point out, we'll get the move, don't worry, it's still early. The suspension block here, if you wanted to take this trade at 150, the 10 to 1 suspension block here, and also we have a suspension block here, but this one hasn't been filled yet. This one, mark this one on your chart, because it hasn't been filled yet. ICT says they always come back to these blocks. It's the candle that formed at 1:1. Yeah, this is suspension on the 1-minute chart, okay? Okay, now we've got the new 4-hour candle. if you look at this construction, what do you think? We have a wick here into a fair value gap. Is it going to be a continuation, or is it going to be a, are we going to go back into the range? What do you think? If you look at this structure here, it's a 4-hour structure. Fair value gap. So the 10 o'clock went into this fair value gap, and now we have a new 4-hour candle. Okay. Let me show you what I'm doing now. Now I'm going to measure the body. I just want to know the half of the body, not the wick, because we might not get a retracement all the way up into the wick, but we might get a retracement into the body, and then that's enough for it to continue to the downside, right? So I just want to have this graded. I just want here, let me just grade this with quarters. Quarters, here we go. Yeah. So the only thing that I want to know right now is if we do have a retracement to the upside, if we're going into the body, where do we have some kind of yeah, it must just go start running, but then we just have to wait for a retracement, right? Because we're just starting and we still need to do our analysis. We're just not going to jump in. Here we go. Okay, we've seen the OTE level. What do we see? We have a nice area here. This would be a perfect area for me to enter here. But then again, it doesn't have to go that high because we already went into the body. So you see we hit the settlement price of yesterday already, right? So you see how it's reacting here. It is reacting, but it doesn't have to. It can be a strong reaction, but it also could be just a small time. You see here this wick. This could be the manipulation wick of the 2 o'clock. That could be enough for a continuation. You see this here exactly at 2. So that's what I'm wondering, and it's exactly 38%. So I'm wondering if this is just, we should just take a short into the rest of the macro to this area here. It's a paper trade, guys. I'm just gonna, I'm not putting up my money, but I'm looking at the higher time frame, how it's developing in the 4-hour, because I trade a lot of the 4-hour candle continuation moves. So I'm sort of like used to, see, this is like my part of my model, what I usually trade, right? So I'm sort of used to the distribution moves. Let me put it that way. That's how I want to trade. Like, okay, we don't need this. I want to. Now let's see if we're going to reject in this wick here. Okay, you see the 1/3 is exactly at the first presented fair value gap of yesterday's first presented fair value gap of the PM session. So I'm using that in my analysis right now. We're in a continuation move of the 4-hour candle. Yeah, I'm just making it very small right now because we just entered, and I'm seeing this because when the 4-hour new candle started, I saw this manipulation move into the 38%. That is sometimes enough, and you see on the 4-hour candle, it just doesn't go all the way to the 50%. It doesn't have to. This is enough on the lower time frame to have a continuation. This is a continuation move, guys. The continuation had started already here. So the new 4-hour candle is continuing of this one. So there's a very clear structure. and I'm using this wick to see where it's going to retrace or react from. I believe we're going to react from here. This is, and it's exactly the first percent fair value gap of yesterday PM. So this is my first trade. I just got on, so I'm not no live trades. I don't have even time, so I just wanted to put it on here to show you guys how I would trade this one. But yeah, see, it goes back to the original consolidation, right? So now it's 2. When you have a continuation move, there is a time that the macro can already stop. So if you see this already, you have to be very careful. Because sometimes you can extend the macros, right, from quarter 2 to quarter past, depending on if you have like for example, if this would happen, like at 145, like you have a wick goes into a fair value gap, for example, then it's like, okay, it hit internal liquidity, let's go to external liquidity. But for me, this was like this exactly at 2 p.m., this manipulation move, that was telling me already, okay, it might not go up higher into this candle now because it already gave its wick. So that was for me the reason why I thought, okay, let me quickly put this trade on. As I said, it's just a paper trade for now because I need to warm up a little bit. I haven't even opened up my other chart yet. I didn't have the time yet. But yeah, let's see what it's doing. So, see, it didn't hit the this level yet. So that is sort of like, okay, let's see what's going on. But we're definitely in a continuation move. But now you see it hit the 0.5 of this wick, right? Of the 4-hour wick. So obviously it will react here. I'm fine just to paper. I'm okay to miss this move. I'm just fine. I just wanna. I would rather. For me, it's more important to go into analysis. If people understand, I'm okay not to. Yeah, I need more coffee. I'm just starting. Sometimes really I don't. And it's not that I struggle with it, but if I want to focus on going into more in depth about what price action is doing, um, I obviously manage to trade as well, and I have my stop loss and TP. But right now, it's like, okay, just focus on this, and I'll trade. Don't worry, I have my trade on. Mm. So I would be a little bit careful now here because we hit 0.5 of that wick. We'll get out of the trade now because the macro ended as well. I will just get out now. It might continue, but let's see. Yeah, the only thing that I want to do on the 4-hour, yeah, it's going to continue. It's okay. I just want to see how large this fair value gap is. You know what I actually prefer? If it will go up into this, a little bit deeper into this fair value gap and then go back down, that will frame like a really, really nice trade for me. And then if you already have, like for example, let's say we are rejecting off this 0.5, right? That means it might not need this wick as a rejection block anymore. So this becomes liquidity. So what I really would like to see now is, because it didn't hit the first percentage fair value gap, that is now actually for me a good scenario. Like, okay, let it please go back up, go into this OTE level here somewhere, and then go down maybe in the 3:30 move, for example, or the 3 o'clock. That would be a nice scenario, right? Because then we can really frame the trade and ease into it and have a very solid trade setup. But then on the other hand, then this would not be a continuation candle anymore. So that's my only thing. So, well, it's still okay. So if you look at this body, right? I just meant this is just the calculation of the body. If we go back up into this zone, let's say we go here, we are still in the body of this 4-hour candle, so we could still go up a little bit and then go back down as continuation. Now the only thing that I don't like is that the open is higher than the close. Yeah, but maybe we are. I'm just thinking, maybe we are. It's a little bit hard of a read because of all the wicks, right? Let me just. I'm getting a little bit less confident, maybe in the. No, it's a I think it's a continuation for our Kindle, but we just started the 4 hours, so we'll be quite far already. Midnight, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like we should go a little bit closer to midnight and then go back away from it, right? I agree with you on that one. There's another suspension block here, this one here. But you see how it used this is, so this was the first suspension block that was around midnight, and we used that to go down, right? And so if you would trade around that time, you could have used that, and this would be your the entry for your short here in this area here at almost 1 o'clock. Then there was another one here that would give you another confirmation for a short. This one here. You see this one little here? See, this one is another, you have another one, 121. Now, where is the suspension block? What am I need more better glasses. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Here, this one. I'm talking about this little black candle here. This one here. This is suspension block. Well, you have another retest here. So at 121, another continuation. And I am looking at my model, right? The 150 to 10. To 10. Here we go. You see how beautiful this is continuation again? So when you do see, hey Casey, but I didn't trade, but I seen the chart. What happened? Well, actually, after you guys were, we in the afternoon session, we just trickled a little bit up, and I think we're going to get a little bit of a move now. There hasn't been much. I think it's just sort of like in consolidation because of the FOMC and NFP coming, right? Um, we did have a nice move at 1 o'clock here, you see, right here, and then a nice continuation. Now I'm sort of like a little bit. I was very confident in a continuation of the 4 hour candle, but I'm sort of like maybe now it didn't hit this one though. Yeah, it's going to continue down. So you didn't miss much, Casey. Be careful also today, right, with FOMC. Um, I'm not gonna do any PM session before 2 p.m. But I'll start the stream 1:30ish. Again, we're in consolidation range, guys, so that's why I'm so going back, because I'm building that model, right, the 150 to 210 model. Even though we're in consolidation right now, I wasn't on, but because of the suspension block here, let me see. Because you have a trade already which is running, and we're close to the new 4-hour candle, right? Because it's the end. I would definitely have traded this area as a continuation, because you have 122. Yeah, so the 2240 is also sort of a macro time. What the difference is, it doesn't take out high timer PD arrays sometimes, but you can consider it as a macro in the sense that it runs, but it just runs towards a higher time frame PD array. And then what happens, what you see most of the times also in AM PM session, then it uses the next macro, the 1050 or the 52 1010, then it reaches a PD array, and then either it reverses, retraces, or we can go into consolidations. But what the level that it reached here was that settlement price, but it did go a little bit lower. Now, the thing that was going through my mind, okay, what am I missing? What PD array did we hit, or did we not? So are we continuing? So this is the first presented fair value gap, but actually we did hit a PD array. I'm sorry, we did. You know what? It's the 50% of this wick. Is this area here, you see? So I'm sorry, I still need to wake up. So we did hit a 50% of this wick. So that's why I'm now sort of like, okay, we did that during a macro. During the macro. So that's why I'm like a little bit. So this, we didn't hit this yet, the first presented, but we did hit 50% of this wick. 50% of a wick is considered a higher time frame PD array, because it's a gap, and it's exactly 50% of that gap. So it's a higher time frame PD array, right over here. And we hit it in a macro. So that's why I'm now, okay, are we done? Because I thought it would hit this area here, the first presented. Because I didn't measure it yet, so I actually thought that this would be 50% of that wick. But I was wrong. So that's why you always need to use these wicks and understand, okay, why are we stalling here? Because it hit the higher time frame PD array in a macro, right over here. So it's done its job. So that's why now for me it's like, okay, what are you going to do? Yes, it could go lower, right? It's just a rejection, but it also could be done, and it hasn't. It's the 4-hour is going to be, but the structure. If you look at this structure, is it going to be an upward candle now? Do you think? It looks weird, right? If it would do that. But we could, in this 4-hour candle, go back into this body's range, and that could be all this OTE, all this area again. And we do have another suspension block here. But then again, we already hit this here, right? So technically, I don't know if we're going to go up. Does that make sense what I'm saying about hitting a PD array in a macro? Why it stalls? And that this is the PD array, the 50% of that wick, that you can consider that a higher time frame PD array. I'm just watching the 1 hour now. I think we could go down to 30th first, but you never know. Yeah, we never know, right? Yeah, and we still have this first presented fair value gap here, which is exactly the 1/3 level of that wick, right? So I'm still bearish, but I'm just wondering how long I'm just wondering, are we stalling a little bit? Are you short already? Good for you. What's your TP case? I'm gonna wait till 3 o'clock-ish. See the three. Well, I'm just gonna wait for price action a little bit more, but I um I also want to show you guys. Have you seen how I calculated this OTE level, by the way? Because it's a little bit different than normal, how people would normally do it. It's again a continuation. 38. Yes. Okay. So you are going to the. It might go lower now because if we started the run in 20, so we could go all the way. When a run starts at the 20 in the 20 area, but I'm just, let's see if it's just not if it's not making a equal another equal high a low, right? Because that happens a lot. Then we go back into the range and then we take out the equal lows and then we go into that zone. Remember, if this is a 4-hour candle, right? Let's say the candle is going to use this area for like for full 4 hours, or maybe go up to here. Let's say it wants to go into this wick here and then reject. It is a lot of time it needs to kill, so that's why I'm going to wait a little bit, 2, 3, because I think, like I said, the 0.5 of a wick is a higher time failure rate, so it is sort of like it has met an objective. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to put on a trade right now. If it would have been only like the 1/3 or a quarter, I would be more inclined to take a trade in this time on this area because then, okay, let it still run. It still wants to go to this area. But because it already hit this one, I'm like, okay, are we going to get back into consolidation now? It is likely. But hey, I mean, I've been taken by surprise the last few weeks, to be honest. So sometimes it does totally different things. But again, the 0.5 of a wick is a significant level. So it might take some time again before it's ready to take its next move and just accumulates now. Just going to accumulate more orders for the next run. And to F around with more retail, right? Because people are like, oh my God, I'm going short. It's just creating another equal low now. So I am going to open my other account. I'm not going to trade yet. I'm going to wait. Yeah. I've learned my lessons. I need to warm up, have a few paper trades, and then, I'm ready to go. There we go. See, I think, so I use it for, I see ICT uses the daily mainly on when he does the wicks calculation. But for me, I just noticed that for me, the 4-hour really works well in my trading. So I always have them next to my chart to see what's going on. And so we always go from internal to external liquidity, right? So we took out internal liquidity here on this 4-hour. Now I would say the external liquidity for this run might be even here, right? It might be as well. So we've got the 2 to 6 candle, but then we have the AM session. It could use, if we have a continuation model, right? We could have 3 continuation candles. So again, the 6 to 10. Am I saying it correctly? Yes. The 2 to 6, 6 to 10. Yes. We could have this last bit could have been. They can take it out in the next candle, the 4-hour candle. So mind, if it doesn't happen, look at these. look at the external liquidity, because we took our internal here, and now we're on the way to external. Okay, so because we were in the 220 and we're not really running, right? It's sort of like stalling. Um, so for me, that doesn't. I mean, I'm like now looking at, okay, I don't think it's going to run in this 220 to 40 yet. It might start now, but it's sort of like we already are in. So I'm still waiting. I'm just, if I miss a move, I miss a move, but um, it's just not too clean for me in this area. I just want more information. We just have to wait, be patient. London is also more patience, guys. But what I really like about London, if a level is not hit because it just doesn't go there yet, we know it's going to be, it's just building more liquidity to take it out either in AM session. So it's a luxury to be able to trade London. It is, because it gives you a lot of intel. Okay. You took one off, right? Are you still in your short? So we've got the open here, 2019. Okay, you took it off. Okay. Yeah. Now, why am I grading this 15-minute candle here? Because this, I see this as a potential rejection block. $25.10. Okay. Yeah. 25.10. Okay. It's a very small area for me still to trade, but I want to get in a short, but I'm waiting for the right time. It's not really a large area anymore, but 25.10 will be my, this area will be my TP. But I want to frame a trade. I need a better entry, but I think it's just going to run at some point. It's only 30 points now. Am I interested? It looks like it's just gonna run, right? 2510. You know why? I don't. There's nothing here. Why would the market go back up here? What does it have to do here? It took out. Look, it stopped at 0.5. It's below 0.5. I think it's just gonna run now. Two 33. It might be too early again. Come on. There we go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has no way. I mean, it's already, passing through all those levels on the 4 hours. So it already has been sort of like had a little bit of accumulation here, and it already hit the 75% now. So, oh shit. Well, I could wait till the next macro, right? But also, I'm thinking like, okay, we are below the first percentage fair value gap already, so that's why I'm sort of like I got in. It's just waiting, stalling. So I've got this level here. Continuation. Come on. We don't have any, we do have some gaps here, but it's sort of like we don't have any fair value gaps or anything like that, right? So, oh, I just hate that wick. That wicking just sometimes does get to me at some point. I'm like, okay, because it can wick all the way back up, but we got like a sort of like a, look at this kind of construction here. We already had, we wicked into here. Just run. Come on, give us something. Casey, your entry was really very solid, to be honest. Nice entry. Um, yeah, maybe 2508 could be the low of the session of this until 3 o'clock. Let's see if it reaches 2508-ish. I put my entry a little bit. I'm on my live account as well. I entered. Sorry, my evaluation, not my live account. Oh, I hate that. Well, I'm not gonna be faked out by this. I'm not getting out of it, you bloody candle. It is 240. You see what happens, right? It did make a move and then it sort of like stalled again here at two. So it ran, it sort of like trickled down. So we might have to wait for the continuation until the macro a little bit. Sorry, but let's see. This move is not going to fake me out now anymore. There we go. Anyone in a short as well besides Casey? Casey, you're doing really well. Your entries are really good. I mean, um, yeah, no, that's so. Casey, you remember when I say that you have runs from 220 to 240, right? But that's the fake. Those are fake moves to get people out of their position. But it just runs. But we're not done with this move yet. So if you watch the time, it happened at 240. Now, normally a run could be done if like I said, continuation runs tend to run. It's sort of a macro, but it doesn't hit the higher time frame PDRAs. But it happens exactly at 40. But nothing at this moment tells me that we are really done with the reverse because we are below any. We don't have any PDRAs. So for me, it's because the run has started already, but we didn't. We still need to get into another PDRA. It didn't take me out. I got back to almost break even. I was still in the profit, but I didn't get out yet. But if that would happen in a macro, we had that here though. This was a little bit concerning to me. I was like, oh shit, we hit the 0.5 of that wick, right? So I was like, but I missed. If I go on the higher time frame, I will most likely see there's a higher time frame PD array that is now more important for this while we're running in this. But this is a clear continuation. It was quite clear. We're going from internal to external, but we might need another 4-hour candle to reach it, right? It doesn't have to be in this candle, but we could go to. That's why I'm looking at this 15. I'm looking at this 15-minute potential rejection block. That's why I'm using this. And I'm not using this now. I'm not using this. Well, it is actually in this area, but I haven't used it on the 4-hour. There we go. Okay. So you use time, right, Casey? In this case, you look at the time. When did it happen that week? 2:40. Okay, but did we hit a PD rate? No. So you don't get faked out by that candle. We're below the previous, the first presented. We are below the 0.5. We are below the 0.66. We're below the 0.75. If this candle would stall exactly on one of those levels, did it actually do that? No, it did not, right? No, that's a different story again. We're good. We are good. We are good. We are good. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Now, we did take out the low of a 1 hour, so we do have to be a little bit cautious. If you have a runner, if you have more than 1 or 2 micros or mini, I would take one off here. Why? Because we took an hourly low. I might take my other trade off just to take my profit, to be honest. And yeah, I took it off just in case. Because I just had one mini on, so I took it off. I might re-enter in the 250 macro if we are going up now, for example. Like Casey, your entry, you're solid. If we have a move up now, you're good. But I took it off just in case because we took out a higher time frame PD array here. Now there's a little gap here. So you see on the 1 hour, right? If you look at this candle, here you didn't take any, on the 4 hour, you clearly took out, we went into a fair value gap, but here it created a fair value gap, right? So that's a difference. You always have to look at, it's sometimes people say, yeah, I'm getting confused, but it's so important to go through different time frames because you see so many different things. Now, yeah, because you take out a 1 hour low, it will reject from there, but is it done yet? It's 247 now. I actually missed that 1 hour. I was too focused on the four. on the 4 hours. So I just when I was in that trade, I thought, oh, let me check the 1 hour because we might have another low there. And I actually didn't look at that, to be honest, before my analysis. So I missed that. So, but we're still good, I think. Let me see. It does. We do have a flat top here. We do have a lot of suspension blocks, right? So I'm wondering if we're going up first now before going back down. I'm out of my live trade or my evaluation trades. I'm going to reassess at the 250 macro. Yeah, let's see what happens. What time is it? 250. Okay, the macro starts. Now this is a bullish structure already, right here. Yeah. Okay, so that happens when you show your stop too fast. So I missed this. I missed this 1 hour low. They would have had. I would have had a different analysis a little bit. I would have had. Um, that would have been my TP, to be honest. In all honesty, but I missed it. I was focused on the 4 hour and on the 15-minute wick. So it will go there, but obviously, like I said, it's a 4 hour candle. This is the 1 hour, but the 4 hour, it will need, if this is the end, it's going to need time, and it will go back and forth in the range. So because I missed this 1 hour candle here, um, which obviously did it take? Yeah, it took it out. It didn't create it. That would have changed my analysis. I had a hunch. I said I'm going to get out of it. I just want to take my money, so I got out. But I definitely missed that 1 hour low. So that is this one here, exactly here. So yeah. Now I have a winning. I'm in the green, but my analysis could have been better if I would have seen this one and integrated that in my analysis, right? Because um, It's still going to be a continuation candle. I'm not worried about that. But obviously, you get these on the, every retracement is a lower time frame mini market maker buyer sell model. So in this area, you have mini market maker buy and sell model. So every retracement, if we're going to have a leg down, we're going to have market maker buy models in those. That's a retracement literally. So we have then you look again for the original consolidation. It always goes back to consolidation areas. So let's go to the 5 minute on here. See, it went into this consolidation area and it's okay now for now, I guess. So now we're going to retrace back up and there will be another nice trade. And everything clear that how this is actually really important, this 1 hour low. Yeah. But it's also important to have the 4 hour and analyze the 4 hour, right? But you see how it just goes back up, but oh shit, sorry guys, sorry. I'm sorry. There is nothing we can do. Hello. I'm sorry, I was there is nothing we can do. Remember me? No, I don't remember you. I've never. Your name would be. I wouldn't remember your name though. Tell me. Are you? Oh yeah. Oh, you have a different. I think you have a different name. You same picture. Is that it? Am I right? Casey, you're rock and rolling. Nice work. There's nothing we can do. I think you changed your name, but not your picture. Hey, I'm getting over 70 subs now, so it's getting hard for me at some point to remember everyone. Guess who? I I remember. I see. I know your picture, but I have to think about it. You have to help me. But I do recognize your picture. Yeah. You did not change your picture. Okay, just have I just want to focus on the price action a little bit. Um, I'm a little bit annoyed that I missed that 1 hour move, the 1 hour candle. To be honest, I should have not missed that. It was quite essential. I had a feeling like okay, I had to get out, but yeah, it's just annoying. So when you do use the 4 hour, just always make sure that you do scroll, you go through the 1 hour as well. Just have a peek, just have a quick peek and just look at the highs and the lows. That's just basically it because obviously your 4 hour candles has 4 hour candles, right? So it will stall at every high or low that it passes. So those just provide the yeah. Well, I'm sort of like um I cannot. I'm just struggling with the name. I know you. I know who you are if I know your name. That's not the case. But I'm just sort of like I cannot. I have to try to frame the old name with the picture, and if you tell me, it's going to be oh yeah, of course. And I don't think you were on yesterday though. But anyway, um, you see how I calculate the range? ICT once said that if you have like a balanced price range, you don't need to add that in your um, in calculating the range. So even though if you calculate it like so, right, you have this, the OTE level is right over here, but this is all, there's all, this is all balanced here. We do have a little imbalance here, but this is already used. Let me see. Now, there's no one bullish, right, at the moment, long term, or are the people really bullish for for the session of London? I'm still bearish. 3 o'clock. Yeah, there we go. Are we gonna go back? Yeah. So this will be a nice short here. Yeah, I'm still bearish. Just gonna drop down now. There's no breaker here. We have this is more consolidation, so I think it's just gonna drop. Look, if you go to the 5 minute. Uh, oh, here we go. Ooh, it's so horrible. I just these charts make me I really don't like these charts. If I look at them, it looks so horrible. This makes me very uncomfortable, to be honest. I mean, yeah, this would be a good short here. Stacey, I hope you're out of your trade. I have this area as a TP. I would enter a short. I can. How many 10 points? Yeah, I can go a paper trade. Um, my same TP. The 208 level is my. I'm just gonna put a little bit higher. I still have that. I might go on my other account. Yeah. Micro, only micros now because I missed a good entry. 303. No, mini, micro. It just has to go below this order block though. Oh no, this is a bearish one. Yeah, we need to go below this one. 0.2, 3 point. It could need, it could need more time just to make the last move, to be honest, because it's still, remember the 4 hour candle, it just could, that's the only thing that worries me a little bit. There's a lot of stalling and a lot of, in days like this. So we could go back into this range a little bit and then stall here before it makes a move down. I am in with one micro though, but because it's a macro time, but we can see it's already not moving. It's like consolidating, so that already tells me that I might have to get out. Yeah, I'm getting out because I don't like it. Yeah, I'm getting out. Getting. I'll be really surprised if that 4 hour candle turns green. To be honest, I will be really. Then there isn't. Then we're not continuing. Then there's no continuation anymore, right? Um, Okay, so we formed the London first presented fair value gap now. Let's see what it does. That's the orange line that you just saw. Okay, so you'll get there. Don't worry. Well, you can do it, but the one time that you're wrong, I mean, if you have a very solid trade, if you have a good model, I mean, you seem to know your entries and TPs pretty well, to be honest. I don't want to encourage you to take more risk on that but what you can do with instead of doing one mini, because your entries are pretty solid, you seem to know the levels pretty well. Just go with 3 micros, and you can scale in and out. You can scale in and out a little bit. But if you're wrong, you can still manage your risk a little bit, and just straight more micros. Start with that because I think your model you have a. I guess you already have a sort of. Your entries are pretty solid. I'm thinking of them. I don't enter because I'm still going over analysis, but they're pretty spot on, to be honest. Um, So just, go with the extra few micros. If you have 5 micros, it's half a mini, right? But you're still managing risk. You can still, scale in and out a little bit. So go with that. I think that's the right way to do. And if you burn yourself, it's not that bad, right? It's still half of a mini. But just, I have a very tight stop loss. So just, I would do that. Just go to 3 to 5 micros and then see how that goes. Your entries are at a point, the ones that you have set, I think the last 4 things that you've mentioned, your stop loss is very close by, right? So your stop loss would have been very minimal because you're literally taking I think there were a few turtle soups there as well. So really, so I would do that. Yeah, it always helps. And I don't have to be right? It's just sort of like, you'll get to a point at some point where you say, hey, I see it differently, and I don't agree, actually. I would do that. That's good. That's actually what, that's supposed to happen at some point. Um, but yeah, so I missed the 1 hour, right? So, for example, it's very important to go over the higher time frame, but if you go too high, and this is the 1 hour where we took out the liquidity, and I was talking about it. I said, yeah, we need to have a higher time frame, liquidity taken out, and then I'm nervous for a reversal. And I just missed the most important one because it's a 1 hour low, which is more important than a 4 hour midpoint of a wick, right? So just saying. I'm just going to see if it did it in a macro. Hold on, I just want to check something. So you always have to be exact. When you make a mistake, it's very important to like for me, this is a very solid mistake. I should not have made that where I am in my journey. But it's okay. Things happen, and it's good that you make them. I just want to look at what time it took it out exactly. So here is that low. You see this wick here? I'm just seeing 239. So it did it before the end of the 240 run. So it does take out liquidity in that 220, in a 20 to 40 run, right? Because I actually said most of the time it doesn't do that. But you see here, it does do it, right? There's this little wick here already that went into that 4 hour, this low here. So I just want to point that out. So, and especially on days like this, right? So hey, you see the hour is turning now bullish. So we are going now into this. So on the 1 hour now, we created a fair value gap. There's a 1 hour fair value gap now. So we are going into that range, right? So for me also now, for me, I've most of the times I don't see it take out liquidity in that 220 to 40 run. But this is a good example that it can do that. Yeah. Now you see the 1 hour turned bullish already, but the 4 hour has not. So it's reacting off the 62 at the OTE level, which is also the daily open. Let's see if it's enough. And this wick is the wick that was created at the two when the new 4-hour candle started. So it's a very important wick. It's exactly in the 150 to 210 macro. Let's see if it's enough for it to go to go back down. Well, I missed had to leave for a bit, seeing that we took Asia low with S&T to ES and rejected, right? Yeah, well, I missed the one. It was a 1 hour low as well. Good thing you pointed out the S&T. I didn't look at that either. Guys, I need to wake up. That is seeing we took out Asia low. Yeah. Let me look at the S&T because I didn't watch that. I was so focused on the 4 hour. S&T is so crucial, guys, especially on the. You know, we also hit on the NQ. It was a monthly high. It was an old monthly high. So those also are very significant. It was an old monthly high. So even though it's in the range, it is an old monthly high. You can automate them. I have them automated, so I have it on another screen. I didn't see it. But if you see that, and it's also 1 hour low, and it coincides with other things, there are still strong liquidity points. So all monthly highs and lows. So um, if you mark the monthly highs or go 3 months back and just mark them on your chart, and even though they're in a range, you'll see now exactly where we rejected right now was an old monthly high. And also I missed that because I wasn't looking at the other screen. And was our SMT like Mether said? Let me check. We took out Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Yeah, there was definitely, yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, it was a solid, it was, but hey, listen, I think we're still going down further though. I don't think we're done yet, but it looks now on ES, if I look at ES, it doesn't look, we need to go higher first. Yeah. Yeah, so there was SMT and, yeah, so another, I just looked, I missed the 1 hour low. So, I had a green trade though, because I sort of like, my gut said get out of the trade because my TP was a little bit lower. Um, we actually did not take out the low. We actually created an equal. Oh, one tick, you're right. We took out the Asia low with one tick. I think gold can really benefit you. Try paper trading it. Yeah, no, I'm definitely Casey. I still need to. I want to expand, but I'm sort of like happy. I still like NQ, but I think it's good to expand to gold as well and oil. Those are on my list. Oil, CL, and gold definitely. Yes, yes, yes. I've got a lot of plans, but right now I'm just sort of like focusing on the sessions, but definitely I should get into it. But I sort of like I'm a little bit. Am I procrastinating it? No, not really, because it takes. I know myself. If I get into it, I really deep dive into it, and it will take all my time. Um, and I just don't want it to interfere with the schedule too much. But I think when everything is more running, yeah, definitely, it is on my list to do so. Yes. Um, So you are you also already trading gold, Casey? Oh, I forgot. I want to do something. So once you have the move to the upside, right, it'll take a while before it's not like it's going down very quickly again. I will look for a potential entry. Should market give a chance when we touch the 1 hour FG right above us? We'll try to short aim previous day low. Yes. Well, I had a little bit of a different area. Let me show you what I was looking at when I missed the 1 hour low. Yes. And I'm a little bit upset about that, to be honest. But hey, we all make mistakes. Let me go to the 15 minute. I was looking at this area here. You see, we now have a triple low, triple equal. So this area, this wick here, this is now my rejection block that I am. Oh, you're in a short already in gold. Oh my God, Casey, you're gonna help me trade gold at some point. You're gonna help me with that. Um, so I'm looking at this wick here as a potential rejection block here. Um, so this area we have got triple low. So I'm thinking if we go down, we're going to reject somewhere before we make our way back into the N walk. And most likely we're going to hit the N walk again. Why? Because you can see we have one wick lower, we have one wick at the mid. What you tend to see happen, you get another wick, but then it's higher than these two. So it could be here, but also maybe a little bit inside. But there is a chance that we might hit it just because we've got one lower, one mid, and then we might have another hit here, which is exactly, look, 1/3 of this wick here. So this was the area I was looking for, but it's a little bit, I think it's a higher time frame. It's a little bit too soon to look into it. And look, we're getting bullish on the 4 hour as well. So hey, maybe it's for the PM session. Hello, trader boy. Are you also in gold? Okay, a lot of people are really, a lot of people like gold, right? Are there any more people that trade gold? I think it's going to be, it might be even pre-market or, but hey, again, I'm not going to trade, AM session because of the FOMC minutes. So it's either going to be before, um, or maybe pre-market, I guess, but I'm probably going to be doing some walk. But I'm just curious, are there any more people that trade gold around here? I love it. You guys are giving me inspiration to now really start doing it. And then if I do it, I'm just gonna paper trade it for a while, and then I'll just listen to what you guys are doing, see what you guys are doing. I think I'm gonna do that. I like it when there's more people trading gold. I'm not afraid to make mistakes and be wrong. So if I do a new instrument, I think that would be nice. And then I've got already people that have uh, who are confident with it already. I think that's a I think that might be nice. If NQ, we'll just do all of them, and then when either NQ is consolidating, we can go into gold or oil. I think those two. Anyone else trading CL? And both you can do both are also micros, right? You can also do micro gold, and there's also micro oil. So it's also low risk. So for me, that's very important. If I trade something and other people want to trade it as well, it has to be risk averse so that we don't, blow our accounts or whatever. So I think that's a good thing to do. Yeah, okay. Um, so Trader Boy is also in. You got me now. Okay, I think I might even go in. You know what? I might do a nice beach walk because I haven't, guys. The weather is so bad here. If I can go in between, and because of the FOMC, I'm just gonna go into gold, start looking at it, and then I'm just gonna paper trade it for a while, and let's see if there's more people trading gold. And I'm just curious. Other people, are there any people that trade oil as well? Would you guys also be interested in oil? Now, oil is more like, I think it's not always interesting, but I guess it's good to know, get to know the chart. Yeah, it's time for me to branch out. It is actually. Now, where would have been the long entry as well? This is um, many entries here. When I said it's not going to break this, it's still long. We have the first percent fair value gap not broken through. When it starts running, it's all, yeah, it's. Are we going to go all the way up to the suspension block? So we're at 25, so it'll run for a while. It's a good time to be. When you see price action like this and you have a first presented fair value gap of the London session and you see it's being, retested, 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 it's a solid entry for a long here. Now, if you only trade macros, where would you get in, right? Because it's like this is outside macro time. Um, I always say the 20 to 40 are continuation runs. So if you see an entry like this, a down close candle, 322, it's in this, it takes out a little low here. It doesn't go below you can enter here and just, let it run. Because now we're in a run already. Let's see how far it goes. I think it's going to run until we are 25. It's a continuation run. The 20 to 40 are runs. Can be a continuation. So let's see. Um, I've got a bit of a headache today. Okay, now let's be careful here. You think we're going to go back to midnight? It's a little bit too much, right? Yeah. Um, I'll just watch this this time. I've got a bit of a headache, guys, so I think I'm not gonna do too long of a stream because I can't really focus at the moment. I just do want to see if this goes into that, if the suspension block is working now. Like ICT says in his last video, or not in his last, but in one of his videos, that he says I will get more into the suspension block when I'm just presenting it right now. He says there are blocks that price tends to trade back to. So that's why I marked this one here. Now, what did I mark exactly? Oh, this one here. Here. So there's a little gap on both sides, right? You have a gap here and a gap here. So let's see if if the 330 to 340 is going to go into that suspension block. Um, if I would have known about if I wouldn't have missed the 1 hour and the SMT, for one, I most likely would have turtle souped it here. But if I would have not done that, I would have waited until it was above the first presented fair value gap of the afternoon. And when I would have seen this distribution move, I would have waited. We have a breaker here, right? This one here, and I would have entered in the retest of the breaker here. That would have been my move. Yeah, my move, and then I would have taken, I guess, 2R trade from the breaker. Mm, I would have done it. So this would have been my. I'll make it. This would have been my perfect entry here. So I would have entered in this retest, right? If I didn't take the turtle soup. So this was number one. If I miss it, I would win the safest. This is a unicorn trade, right? Breaker, fair value gap. You wait for that, and then when you have the re-entry, you enter. So let's say I would have entered here in the retest of the breaker somewhere here. 2R trade. My stop would go below the breaker. And then 2R just to play it safe. In this case, I will go to the daily open here. That's a 3R trade. Now you're watching it, right? Like if you have a micro, like Casey, in your case, what I think you're ready to do that. You can leave a runner, right? Now you can see you have to sit through this whole bloody consolidation, but yeah, you could take it out to the next fair value gap that was here, right? It's a 5R trade. You leave one runner, and let's see if it goes all the way up here. Then it's a 6R trade, right? But if you want to save, just especially on days like this where we have FOMC, NFP week, you just take a 2R trade and you're fine. And then you're out before all this consolidation, because we also have to think about your mental capital, right? I mean, think about this. You get out here and then you have to sit through this. I mean, if you have a good entry and you already take your profit, it's fine. But I mean, if you're beginning, you just want to take your money and reassess, take that and be happy with it. Unless okay, you know what, it's going to be a larger move. I'm going to leave a runner, and I'm fine sitting through this. If you see the move, if you understand market maker buy and sell models, obviously it's not going to stop here. Um, so that would be my entry, but let's see if it takes out if it goes to the suspension. We're still studying the suspension block, right? like ICT said he would go more into it, but if I see them, I mark them just to see if it's really going there, because if that indicates like, okay, we're going to get the, you know, like if you see the market maker buy model and sell model, like this is the sell side of the curve, we have a reversal here. We've got a clear change in state delivery right over here, right? But there was no retest until this breaker. So that's why I said it's either a turtle soup entry for me, or then I would wait until the breaker retest. Um, and when I would have missed that, then I would use the first percentage fair value gap of the London session. So yeah. Now look at the 4 hour candle. Now it's turning bullish, right? But let's see if it goes to the, look, the 25% level that I marked here is exactly suspension block. Um, let's see if it goes to the suspension block and then goes back down to, for the 4 hour continuation candle to the downside. Um, and I'm not sure, how did I calculate that level? Is it the 1 hour? What did I calculate? Oh, okay. That was the 1 hour fair value gap. Okay. So we're at 50% of the 1 hour fair value gap. Is it enough for the, you know, is it done, or is it going to go up into the 25% here? And then use it, it's the suspension block as a barrier, right? We still have 5 more minutes in the 322, 340 run. So that's how I use these times. Yes, FOMC today, case, and also it's still NFP week again, so it's sort of tricky. Yes, and the FOMC minutes are at 2 p.m. So I'm gonna live stream at 1:30. I'm not gonna do anything before NFP. I'm just gonna wait and see what the minutes bring. And you know, it might be still tricky because technically we don't trade as well on Wednesday on the. We want to be done with our trading, but you know, there might be good entries. We'll see. We'll just see how price action behaves. Now let's see what happens. I want to see if it goes into that suspension block. That would be the. But we have another one here, right? Do we actually see? Oh yes, look at that! Wow, it did not hit it, did it? No, it did not. Wow. Let's see. I want to see it hit. Well, we have one here as well, right? Is he gonna make one more move up? Let's see. If it hits the suspension block, it's exactly 25% of this. Now, what do we see on the 1 hour? We see a flat bottom and a wick, right? Mm-mm. You see what I'm seeing? Midnight. Uh-oh. Boom. I think it's gonna go through it, to be honest. Okay, it hit the suspension block. because it's almost 3:40, I would stop the trade. I would think, okay, the run might be done. I would get out here. That would be my, I would not stay in this trade longer. Boom. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we just hit the 15-minute FUG plus breaker? Oh, I'm gonna have a look. I've got a bit of a headache, so I'm not on the ball. As you can see, I'm just sort of like I'm really struggling. I'm curious to see, but I'm gonna stop the stream in a bit because I really got a bad headache now. So I'm really correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we just hit the 15-minute FUG and breaker? I do see a FUG on the 15-minute. Am I looking at the NQ? Yes, I am. But what else do I see above it? I see a flat bottom and a wick exactly above midnight. You know what I say about flat bottoms and wicks, right? Those are magnets. So I'm sort of like getting away now. I'm like, are we? Um, I don't see a breaker though. I just see an area of consolidation we're getting back into. But I'm looking at that. See now I see everything afterwards, right? Because I'm a little slow today. I've really got a bad headache, so that's why I'm. But yeah, so I'm sort of like the midnight is exactly on a flat bottom. So I think it's a magnet right now. So I'm just wondering if we're just gonna go up to it and then into that. Well, let's see how it's doing. But I don't see the breaker though, to be honest. But yeah, you can see those two candles. You mean the two up close candles before the first down close candle? Could be. It's just sort of like, I would say there's a wick that goes a little bit high. It's like a little sweep. I, I, I would say it's either equal highs, actually, relative equal. Technically, it would consider the breaker is resting on the midnight, right? Right. Time to run. Are you trading New York? I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to stream after 2 p.m. So I'll get on at 1:30, 1:45, just to. And then FOMC minutes are at 2 p.m. So then I'll be on. Um, so the 10:30, 15. Let me have a look. You mean it's a bearish breaker? You see the bodies. Um, there is no body. If you look at the 15-minute, right, the body of the 10:30 is equal with the bodies of the 015 and the 030. Yeah. So there's no, I would not really consider that a breaker. It's more of consolidation. And if you have yeah, it could be a bearish order block, right? Or bullish, actually, it's a bullish order block. If we would get, we did have follow through. You know what I think? It's just we're gonna run through that area. I don't think it has any significance. It was just I think we're just gonna run. I think that magnet and midnight is much. Yeah, no, it's just liquidity now. I think on the top. Yeah. Um, or is it an inverse breaker? You know what I think, Meteor? If I look at it, that structure, I think the area that we're seeing there is going to be a breaker. So the bullish candles, if we break through it, then we have a breaker. But yeah, I'm just gonna I really have a bad head. It's just I just really feel like um yeah, I just don't want to say things that are just stupid. It's always hard to focus when you have a little, sometimes the headache is just a little bit, but it's sort of like nagging and it's sort of like it's just sort of like distracting you all the time. But yeah, I think we're gonna hit the midnight and go above it, right? But you know what ICT says? If you want to go short, we want price to be above midnight. But maybe it's a long. We were below midnight, and we should have entered for a longer long. But yeah, I need to reassess. But anyway, it's guys, it's FOMC. It's NFP week. Be careful from now on. I mean, if you see a good trade, take it and have a scalp a little bit, or have just really, very mechanical short setups, but don't overstay. And yeah, just be careful. But I'm gonna be back this afternoon, and guys, I will get into gold and oil, but maybe not today because I need to get rid of that headache first. But I'll definitely plan a stream later today. I want to thank everybody again for joining me and yeah, just hanging out. I just love doing it. So I'll talk to you later. And Mether, yeah, we'll chat soon again. Casey, you're doing great. Casey is just trading. He just started trading, guys. It's really amazing. He just I think it's your second com. See you later, Mether. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Um, Casey really just is doing really really well for just someone who just started. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. And again, thank you, and we'll chat soon again. Bye bye.